Sengoku Dynasty is a challenging survival game where we must build up our dynasty. This involves managing many villagers across several towns. We'll need to explore, gather, hunt, build, and fight in order to make progress. So, let's get started. Okay, let's start a new game here, and the first thing we have to do is decide what type of game mode we want to play in. So you can see here there's all different kinds, and you can even do a custom kind where you set all the different settings yourself. I think for the content I'm making, normal is going to be best, as it will provide an average experience for you viewers, and we'll have a little bit of everything from building to combat and all that sort of stuff without it being too focused on any one thing. So I'm going to go for that one right there, but obviously you guys can do whichever one you prefer. And this is where we start out, and the game is nice in that it gives us a lot of objectives and things when we're starting out to get us started with what we need to do in the game. However, I think we are probably worth searching around here. Yeah, there's like a few different things here, so we can pick up this torch right here, these planks and things as well. We're just going to scavenge around for little items that might be nearby and might be useful. Also, by pressing V, you can change your field of view to either far away like this, or you can go in up close like this. I'm going to keep it on this one for now, and I'll just change through different times depending on what we're doing. But this is easier to see things like that. We saw the sticks right there. Would have missed them without that. And looks like there is something in there as well. If I can get the right view on it, there's like a knife here. Let's pick that one up as well. And we'll also go over here. And as we're traveling along, we just will pick up anything we see, like all these rocks on the floor and stuff like that. And let's see what's in here. Anything, basically anything we see we want to pick up, because it will be useful to us at some point in the game. And there's no real downside to doing so. As you can see here, our current objective is to find Akko, who is our travel companion. But he can wait a minute while we go ahead and grab up all these resources. On top of that, we've got bushes here where we can take down all these sticks and things that we get from these bushes. So sticks and stones are going to be pretty important to us early on in the game, I'm assuming. Now, I will say, obviously, some of you may have seen my Medieval Dynasty playthrough. This is a very similar type of game. It's made by the same developers, and it's a similar idea where you're going to be starting up a town and hiring people to come and work for you, and they live in your town and will use up resources and stuff like that. So very similar type of game, but there might be some subtle differences. However, I think that grabbing all the sticks and stones is probably a good idea. So I'm not really familiar with this game in the way that I was with Medieval Dynasty. I'm just going to make assumptions that there's a lot of similarities in the way that I start out and go from there. So we'll kind of learn as we go through, and it could be a bit of fun. I did a very brief little look at this game before making today's video. So yeah, there might be a few mistakes made. I guess we'll learn things as we go through together. Now, I do know that if we head off on this road down here, this is going to lead us to finding Akko. So this is where I'm going to go. But as you can see, I am still picking everything up along the way. Now, one major difference that I've noticed so far is if we press tab to go to our inventory, you can see right here that we have space for different amounts of items, but it's not done on weight. As far as I can tell, that isn't a thing. We can carry as much as we like as long as it fills up just these slots that you see here. And in Medieval Dynasty, of course, it was done by weight. So that could be a nice difference to keep an eye on, and something that could be kind of useful as well, like maybe a bit of extra inventory space overall. Another nice thing is you can just kind of hold down E as you're walking around, and when you go up to something like a bush, you have to just keep holding it in order to harvest it. But anytime you go over a stone, it will just pick it up if you're just holding down E whilst you're using WAS to navigate through the world. So for example, if we're just walking down here like this, as we walk past these stones, we can just kind of pick them up like this without needing to keep pressing E. So it's kind of a fast way of picking up resources in the game, makes life a little bit easier. Now, just down here on the beach is Akko, and we've got the notification there above Akko, this yellow thing. This also shows up at the top of our screen, so that's how you can know where you're going for different objectives in the game. If we go up here, we can go ahead and press E and talk to Akko, and we're happy to see that Akko is indeed alive. So it looks like we've become sort of shipwrecked on this area right here, and that's how we're starting off our journey. Also, Akko actually looks female at this point. I think I called Akko a guy before, so apologies for that. At this point, we have to get into a bit of handcrafting, so we're going to make ourselves up an axe. So by pressing Q, you access this wheel here. Again, very similar to Medieval Dynasty, and we made up our axe right there, which we are now wielding to go ahead and chop down a tree. So yeah, you guys will see a lot of similarities between this game and the Medieval Dynasty game, which, if you're a fan of Medieval Dynasty like I am, is obviously a very good thing. So we're now going to handcraft up a hammer after getting a log from that tree, and we can wield the hammer, which let's see, I don't think it's going to be hotkeyed just yet. So here's the hammer. Let's put that in at number 2 for now. We might sort this out differently later. But then whilst holding that, we can right click and we can build things. So for example, basic structures and a campfire. We need to build that for a second to make Akko feel a bit better, I suppose. So we go ahead and place it down where we want it. Then we just left click to build it, and you can see the percentage there goes up over time, obviously providing that you have the resources that you need in your inventory. Now, it's asking us to talk to Akko, but I'm actually going to see, can I cook anything? Have I got some food on me at this stage? I do. I've got some cooked fish that we can make up, so let's do that just as well. Then we've got some food to get us started. Now we'll talk to Akko. So although Akko's not feeling great, we made her wait there while we cooked up some food. Very, very gentlemanly of us. And there we go. That's the quest complete, and Akko is looking a lot better. There she is. So got the fireplace right there. That's all she needed, just to be warmed up a little bit. There we go. Now, at this stage, it says go to the nearest village. And at the top of the screen, we have like a little question mark sort of quest right here. And if I open up the map, you see it's pointing us in this direction. So if you open the map and right click, you can actually place down a custom marker like this, as you see here. And that will take you to that marker. You can place down several of them if you want to, as you can see right there. You can also right click them once again to remove them, by the way, but it's a nice feature they have. You can set all these different custom markers in the game. Now, when I did my playthrough before, it was around about here that I found the nearest village. So I'm going to go ahead and run off this way, because I don't think there's anything in the game that actually tells us where the nearest village is. However, there is something, if we were to follow, let's see, where's it gone at the top of the screen? There was another little angle. Let me find that. Yeah, here it is. If we follow this kind of question mark thing, it does lead us to something. And although I don't think we need this just yet, I'll show you guys it because it's like a fundamental part of the game. Okay, so here we are up here, and we have found this person here. This is a food trader. So if we talk to the food trader, then we can ask them about their goods. But also you'll see here, if we press F, that we can actually trade with them. So our inventory is on the left, theirs is over here. You can see we can buy all different types of like food, vegetables, all that sort of stuff here. So it's kind of a good idea to like make a note of this guy being here, and we can come and do some trade later on if we wish. Now on top of that, there's this other point of interest here. There's like a little question mark if we follow this path that's nearby. So let's go here through these pagodas, and we come up to this kind of shrine looking thing, and it is indeed called the Jizo Shrine. Now I'm going to apologize in advance for the amount of terrible pronunciations I'm going to make for the things in this game. I will do my best. But you see we can interact with the shrine if we have the right things. When you first do it, it comes up and gives you the lore behind the different shrines. So basically these shrines require offerings and things, and this is going to be a part of the spirituality side of the game, and there'll be sort of quests and things relating to that. So yeah, I thought I'd mention that as well. But that's what we find if we do follow, as I showed you at the top of the screen there, those different sort of quest things. Right now though, I'm going to head to my red marker, as I believe that's where the village is going to be, somewhere near there. And once we sort of get started with that, we can very quickly get started with our first village. I have to say, this is a beautiful area though, isn't it? Look at this. I didn't go across this before. Got this wooden drawbridge here and stuff. Looks like the world has been built very nicely. It's a really nice environment to play in. And especially like you can even choose a chill out game mode. But even in the other game modes, I think this is like a game that you could really have a good time just relaxing and playing. That's my first thoughts about it. As always, I welcome all your thoughts and comments down in the comments. And I'm sure several of you watching this have probably played this game a lot more than I have. So yeah, let us know what you think of it. Okay, so we now have a new objective to ask this guy over here for help, and it's got the yellow thing above him there. So if we open up the map, you can see that this is where you need to head to in case you get a little bit lost or whatever. And just up there was like the trader and the shrine and stuff that we found. So let's go speak to this guy right here, and he's going to help us out with a few things. So basically by talking to him, we get a bell. If we open up our inventory, you can see right here called an alarm bell there. Now this is basically how you start any new village. You need one of these bells. And as this guy tells us, we have a couple of options here. We can rebuild this village if we wish. So we could, I guess, just rebuild this bell tower here and then start rebuilding all these buildings around us and basically turn it back into the village it once was, but it has become a derelict village. Our other option is to go and start a village wherever we like. Now, you don't have to worry too much about the location because you will get more bells later on in the game and you can start more villages. You can actually have multiple villages in this game under your management, I believe. That's how it's been made to sound, at least. And I think that in terms of the content of what we're doing here today, I think that rebuilding this village isn't going to be as exciting necessarily as if we start our own village from scratch. So I'm going to look for a good location to do that on the map. So I kind of earmarked this location over here. It's actually fairly near. You can see it's about 50, 60 meters away from the village that we were just at. The reason I thought this might be good is we've got water all around us. So we have like really nice views here of the beach. And if we need the water for anything, like maybe there's like fishing or anything like that, then we're going to be pretty nearby. You see on the map right here as well where we're at. And, oh, is that maybe an animal spot right there, I guess is what that is? Yeah, looks like that's what it's saying. So there's animals nearby. I guess that'll also be useful. And on top of that, you can see there's a ton of wood, and you're obviously going to need loads and loads of logs in order to build up your town. So I think somewhere around here is probably a good shout. We're going to be pretty near the derelict village, but I think our first village will be quite a small one. And then when we get our bells in the future, we'll make to look I should say, look to make a much bigger village at that point. With our hammer selected, we can right click and go down here to village structures. And this one here is the bell tower. And then we can place it down wherever we like. We can rotate this around if we want to. I don't think it matters too much, but we just want this to be placed, I guess, somewhere central. This is meant to be, I guess, like a central part of the village. I'm just going to put it down here for now, and then we have to make it up. So I think I have some of the resources on me. Yeah, you can see in the bottom left there, we've got some of them, but we're going to need to get a few logs. We'll chop down some trees in order to do that. And we're going to be, as I say, near the derelict village, which is just over there. But I like the idea of making a small village nearby and do it from scratch rather than just rebuilding the old one. And we're going to finish up the bell tower now. There it is. And you can see here, we can actually move this at any point by pressing T as well. So that's another reason we don't need to worry too much where we place this exactly, as long as it's somewhere near where we want to actually build our village. And the first thing it wants us to do now is build a small house. So in terms of where we're going to build that house, I'm not actually too sure. Go down here to buildings. We've got these housing buildings and the small house is unlocked, as you can see. And we can kind of scroll out a bit by using V there to sort of find a bit of a spot for it if we wish. But let's see where we want to place this right now, because I'm not really too sure. I guess maybe we'll just place it down in here somewhere. Let me figure this out. Yeah, so we'll put our first house just there for now. This is the blueprint for it, of course. And if we walk up to it like this with the hammer selected and we try to build it, then it will see there that what we need. So we need, for example, 3 logs to get the foundations done. And we'll probably need a lot more logs and sticks and stuff like that in order to make the rest of it. Now, what I'll do in the Medieval Dynasty series that I did, I included a few time lapses. So I'm going to go and get a load of materials together, and then I will do a time lapse of this build being made. They seem to go down pretty well in the Medieval Dynasty series, so I'll probably keep those whenever we're building anything significant in the game. So my plan is to chop down a load of trees and get the resources in order to be able to make this building hopefully in one go when we time lapse it. And I guess it makes most sense to just chop down trees in an area here that's going to be near where we're building, right? Oh, and accidentally chopped that log up, which meant we got, let's see, what is this? Use log to, use adzes to get planks or axe to get firewood. So this can be chopped up even further if we wish. So when we use it, it actually just debarks the tree. That's an interesting thing. So there's actually like more types of wood in this game than there are in the Medieval Dynasty version. One thing I saw as well is that when we chop down the tree here, we can still remove the stump using the shovel. If we hover over it, you see there, we can also use the log on it to use an axe on it to get sticks. So I guess if we keep chopping this, yeah, there we go. We can get sticks there by chopping down those stumps. So that's interesting to know. I'm not sure if we should be keeping any of the stumps if we want the trees to regrow or not. That was obviously a Medieval Dynasty thing, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how we go. But again, because it's our first village, it probably doesn't matter that much anyway. Now, I realized halfway through the time lapse that I actually need to get some grass, and you see this eulalia grass here, which you can see is like nice and white, so it stands out against the background. This is how we're going to get that. Rather than interrupting the time lapse with this information, I thought I'd just show you guys it before, so I'm going to put this in beforehand. But yeah, just letting you guys know that in case you need some yourselves. There's also this bamboo grass, and if we harvest that, we can get grass as well. So that's fine. It's just a little bit more difficult to see because it just blends in, like just from a distance and stuff, I mean, whereas obviously that white eulalia is a lot more clear. But that's how you get grass in the game, and it's going to be something you're going to need a lot of, so definitely thought it was worth a mention. Now, one thing to note, we're halfway through the time lapse, I realize, but if we go on here, we can do different things. So we can modify the material by pressing E, and later on we can choose different materials right here. We can also press F to change the type. So we could have it as an entrance or as a window or as a plain wall. Now, I think that having a window out the back here might be an idea. So let's go ahead and just put one in the middle and modify the house a little bit. So there we go, that one can be a window. And here it is, guys. Our house has been built. Now, I just want to quickly apologize for the fact that the heads-up display was showing throughout the whole time-lapse. But if I turn it off, which is possible with F10, you can see right there. It's great for like thumbnail shots and stuff like that. But it was very difficult to see where I was building when I turned it off. So I think I'm going to have to keep that on. Let me know if that's getting annoying or not down in the comments. I'll try and change it in future episodes if it is a bit annoying. You can see, though, now it says reach a dynasty level of 7 by recruiting refugees, completing special projects or quests. So if we go into the quest section here, you can have side quests as well as the main quest. And obviously this is the one we're on right now to reach dynasty level of 7. Talking of the dynasty, that's also shown at the top here, a dynasty legend right there. You see right now, I guess we're on level 2 right there, and we have the 1 village. So again, in the future, I think we can have multiple villages, which is quite exciting. Actually, I really like that as a part of this game. And basically, we're now into the main part of the game, where we start playing it as intended. Before I start recruiting anybody though, like whenever you recruit somebody, they're going to need food, they're going to need somewhere to sleep and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to go on a bit of a stockpiling of resources mission, which obviously I'll do off camera because it's going to be super boring for you guys to watch. But once we've got all that done, then we can come back and look to start getting our first people in and developing our town. I decided not to sleep through the night, so I've just been out exploring and gathering different things. And one thing that's kind of useful is when you find these nests here, we can collect the eggs from them, and then we can go and cook those if we want. You can also harvest the nest if you like, but I think like for the resources that we get from that, I'm not really too bothered about it. What I'd rather do for now is just like mark this location here, try and get it like roughly, yeah, somewhere around there, I suppose, so we know roughly where to come back to, and I'll see if these respawn over time. If we go into our inventory, you can see here, if I click on a cooked egg, it gives us a food gain of +10, which is pretty good. I've also been eating this stuff, the gobo plant, and that gives us +3. So each egg is worth more than 3 of the gobo, and it's a pretty good way of going. On top of that, I've gone and made up some of these things right here. So if we press Q for the quick crafting, these are the wooden yari, which are basically like a spear and a starting spear that we get in the game. And it's kind of cool, actually. I haven't had a chance to use one yet, but if you right click with it, it actually shows you there the line of the spear is going to take when we throw it. So I'm looking forward to finding an animal to try to hunt, but at the moment we haven't actually found any. I don't know if that's because it's nighttime and they're just all like asleep. If that's the thing, maybe they only spawn during the day, but certainly those bird nests are worth keeping an eye out for when you are early on in the game. Just got back to my house and I thought I'd explain a couple of things that I've done here. I've made a little road going off from the center of the town down past this house. This will just help us to organize a bit of grid pattern better, and I think it looks kind of nice as well. Then inside the house, you can see we've got these things here. These are Tawara bags. So if we go ahead and equip our hammer, if I can push the right button there, when we right click with this, we go down to, let's see, was it buildings? No, it's actually hard to navigate this sometimes. Furniture, house furniture, there we go, large containers. This one right here, you can see the Tawara bag needs straw and it needs sticks. And then you can place them down. You got this grid pattern in your house where you can place things. So I've started some early game storage over here. And the reason I've done that is because I was collecting a lot through the night and we're going to need a lot of storage. But what I think I need to do is build up an actual storage building. However, we are going to time-lapse that because it's our first time building a storage building in this world. So it seemed like a good thing to do. You can see through here, I've been stockpiling logs and things. Oops, didn't mean to actually put that in there. Yeah, we got a load more in this one. And yeah, we're just preparing up for more storage and stuff. If I, with the hammer selected, you can see the blueprint here. This is where we're going to be building our storage area. I thought it was good because it's quite central to the town, obviously, with a bell tower right there. And then we might get, you know, a few more houses and things built up along this road. And eventually I'd like to do like districts and stuff like I did in the previous season where I made nice neighborhoods and things. But for now, it's going to be a bit of a higgledy-piggledy town that's more focused on just functioning rather than necessarily looking amazing. On top of that, we can cook on this hearth right here. So you can see we've got all these different options. This one here is interesting. Actually, a vegetable meal. We need to find beans for that. Now we can cook the gobo. Let's actually, yeah, let's make up one of those a second. I'd like to see what the difference is between our current gobo and this one. So, wow, cooked gobo gives you +7, more than double the raw stuff. So that's really, really useful. So basically, gobo and eggs are probably going to be our 2 main early game food sources. But yeah, we can craft up our eggs as well. Now, you see here, we can drag that across and it cooks them up one at a time. Anyone who watched my Medieval Dynasty series or has played that game will know that you can turn on fast crafting, which is something that's quite useful, especially for like streaming and stuff. But I haven't found an option to do that in this Sengoku Dynasty, so I'm not sure if we're actually able to do that. If not, whenever we're doing a big crafting thing, I'll obviously just cut it out of the video. This was a smaller one and I was explaining stuff, so I left it in. But if we go to the settings and go to gameplay, then this isn't actually locked. It's just this is what we've chosen at the moment. We can set it to custom, but I'm not seeing anything here that is like fast crafting. There's this one right here, which is fast building, but that's talking about resource delivery. You won't wait for the hammer blow animation to finish, allowing you to build faster. It's not really about fast crafting, I don't think. From what I can see, there isn't really anything here for that. But if anyone knows a way to do that, please do let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll just cut those bits out in the future. So I think it's a good time to make up our storage area right now. Seems like a good thing to do. And once again, I will do a little time lapse of that because we've not built one of these in this game yet. So here it is now that it's all built. Obviously quite a simple looking building, but this is just our initial storage, of course. And if we go up to here and go inside, you can see here that we have a ton of extra storage now that we can use. And all this storage will be used by people in our town as well. So this is just general storage for the town, and our citizens, our villagers, will be able to use this storage later on. And yeah, for like any of their building and needs and stuff. If we want to keep things separate, we can go in here to our own personal storage, these bags that we've put down, and anything we put in there will be just for us. But yeah, stuff in the storage area down here, that's for the whole town. Okay, so now I'm going to go off and do a bit of hunting and try and get some food and other resources from doing that. If we open up the map, you'll see there are different spots here. So that one right there lists where there are animals in the area. So we're going to head to those, hopefully hunt some animals, and try and find some other food on the way as well. Now these gobo plants here, we're going to pick a load of these up. They are food, I should say, and they can be cooked as well. So the food that they provide on their own isn't too bad, but once they're cooked, they're actually a pretty good food source. We've also got these here, these unripe berry bushes. I think they'll ripen in a following season, and then we can pick those too. But for now, if we see gobo along the way, we definitely want to pick that up. Also, just over here, we got a couple of things going on. So we've got these straw piles right here. This is where it is on the map incidentally, if you're looking for this. But yeah, you can just come and pick these up. So you've got straw piles right here, where it gives you a lot of straw very easily all in one go without you having to like craft it. And there's also these here, stone deposits and stuff. Now we need a pickaxe in order to harvest those, so perhaps that's something we'll do later on, but probably a good way of getting a lot of stone if we need it. Now I just found these are leeks, and obviously they're going to be a food source and potentially something we can farm as well. Looks like we unlocked there the leek seed bag, it says on the right. So if we just have a look at these a second, you see the meals there that they provide. So not great, but not too bad, and probably can be used for like cooking recipes and maybe put in a stew or something like that, right? Or a pie or something. And always good to get the extra food source. Farming is something we want to get into later on. And just looking through the different food things here. Yeah, so I mean, leeks are pretty low down on the scale, especially compared to like cooked gobo, which is very good, and the cooked eggs are obviously good too. But still something that's useful to pick up on the way. Now I am finding a ton of birds' nests around, which is awesome because we're getting a load of eggs from them. And once we cook the eggs, they're actually a really good source of food. Now in terms of the nests, obviously you can pick them up. You see they get like sticks and feathers from doing so. But I'm going to check back on some of the nests that I've already explored later on and see if they do respawn bird eggs or not. If they do respawn eggs, then I'd say it's probably better to leave them, especially in the early game. But I need to confirm whether or not that is the case. Now I've encountered this guy here. He's got this red thing above him, so I think he's an enemy and I want to attack. I've got my spear here, so we can just line that up and throw that at him, I guess. Now I haven't done any combat. Oh yeah, that was pretty good hit actually. Looks like it did fairly well. Let's throw another one. There we go. And yeah, another one. My goodness, he's goodness, he's attacking us with a load of spears in him. Oh, I'm trying to select. No, okay. I think, can I grab one of those spears out of him? It looks like you can. Yeah, I think I grabbed. Yeah, I'm grabbing my Yaris. I'm grabbing my spears out of his body right now as he attacks us. Let's run down here and try and equip that. He's probably going to attack me while I do this. Okay, no, we're just about far enough away. And yeah, there we go. If we left click, it actually takes us out of first person, as you saw there. There we go, he's dead. Yeah, so if you left click, it takes you out of the first person view. We can loot him though. Let's see what we've got here. So we've got one of these here, calabash bottles, and it says here this can store various liquids like medicine. So that could definitely be useful later on. Combat is something I need to learn more about, but I'll probably need a lot of medicine in the meantime, so we'll definitely take that. And then we've got this here, wooden prayer beads, so obviously going to be used for some of the spirituality and sort of prayer side of this game, which I think is pretty big. It's something we definitely need to get into. Let's drag that one over. And finally, these bandit clothes, which got a decent amount of armor there, actually, certainly more than we have at the moment. So we'll take those and I'll put those on in a second, and that's sort of a little upgrade for us. Combat in this game does seem quite complex, but like in a good way. There's a lot to it, and I definitely need to learn that stuff and maybe make some future videos that are kind of dedicated to it, because at the moment I don't really know enough about it. Let's have a look here though. This is his camp. It looks like there's things we can pick up here, but I think that's actually just decorative, so we can't. But I'll have a little look around and see if there is anything. I don't believe there is. I'm not seeing anything obvious. Having said that, whenever I did this in Medieval Dynasty, people would always comment that I'd missed something, so probably I've just missed something. If I have, let me know. But there we go, a little bit of combat right there. Okay, there is a hare just here, guys. I'm going to try and hit it. He's running away. Oh my goodness, I think I landed that shot. I swear I heard that. Let's go have a look. If I landed that, that's like the best shot ever. And yes, I did. Look at that. We hit him. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I have that recorded. Yeah, that's like the best shot I've ever done right there. But we've managed to kill the hare. Now, let's see here. We're going to need to make up a knife, I think. Actually, maybe I did have have one on me. But either way, we need a knife in order to get this stuff from the hare, basically to like skin it and get its resources. So let's go ahead and equip that. Yeah, I did have a second knife there, but never mind. So with our knife, now that the hare has been killed, we have to go ahead and put that, like equip it, and now we can like use it on this hare to get all the stuff from him. And you see there, we got ourselves 3 cooked meat from that hare, and that's obviously going to be a good food source as well, although a bit harder to get, but probably it's going to provide a lot of meals, especially once we cook it, which we will of course do once we get back to our base. Now I think it's time to get our first refugee, and over here at the bell tower we do have a refugee waiting for us. This is Yo Meme, I suppose is how we're saying that. Yo Meme, I'm not sure. Let's have a little chat with her and try and get her to join our village. So yeah, right here we can say, why don't you come and live with us? So I guess that's the way of inviting, so you can settle in the villages here. And she's asking where she could go, so we're gonna have to like pick a home for her now and get her settled into our town. So if we go up to well, this is the quest that we're doing, right? This is about reaching higher dynasty levels and stuff like that. But you see here we have to, on the side quest right here, pick a home for Yo Meme. Let's call it Yo Meme in the dynasty tab, which is up here. So let's see how do we do this. We go to population, and that's obviously me. Wait, what? Apparently I'm homeless. Okay. And we also have Yo Meme, of course, the refugee. So yeah, I mean, maybe I should assign myself a home first. I thought I had one. So let's see, we click on player village. That's the only house, so obviously there, and that particular sleeping mat, that's where we're living. I guess because I didn't sleep in it yet, like I worked through the night. Maybe if I'd slept in it, I would have claimed it. But yeah, that's going to be our sleeping mat now. This is, of course, our house and our storage and stuff like that. But we are going to need to assign Yo Meme a house as well. So I may need to build another house. If we go back into Dynasty here, let's have a look here. If I try and put Yo Meme in somewhere right now, there's probably not going to be anywhere for her to go. Yeah, like there's no houses coming up because we don't have any, right? So yeah, I think that's the next thing. I need to make another house for her, and once that's done, we can put her in there. Okay, with the house now built for Yo Meme, if we go into population and click to assign her a home, there is now going to be something come up right here. This is the second house there, 0 out of 1. We'll put her on that sleeping mat. And now it's telling us about the village needs of meals. So basically what this is saying, like we need to provide food, which we know, and you can change the consumption of foods and things. So you have a bit of, direction over what they're eating and such. And you can put the consumption to like high or low. Obviously the higher it is, the higher the happiness and stuff like that, but the more resources it's going to use. So I think what we need to do is go to the general storage area right here and add some food to it. And that way that's food that Yo Meme can then use. Because if it's on us or if it's in our own storage, then obviously she can't eat it. But if we go into Dynasty right now, looks like, yeah, I think she's got food, right? She seems happy. And we can assign her a job. Although I think actually to do that, we need to build a workplace first. So that's fine. Let's see here. So yeah, meals is down the bottom here. It looks like at the moment it's saying like we're consuming 15, only 12 available. So we need to keep adding more food, which we have. And I might need to cook some things up. I've got some things in my inventory here, like the beef and eggs and stuff. Let's see right here. So yeah, I think no, that's fine. We'll get more food for her. Also, just look at here. We can actually rename our village. So I think I got to call this Kaizen. I believe that's how you spell it. So that's like, I won't go into the whole story, but my channel name came from this. It's a Japanese philosophy, Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. It's a philosophy of continuous improvement. I spelled it differently because Kaizen was taken on Minecraft at the time, which are the videos I made, but I digress. So if we go to buildings and then production buildings, you can see here, there's a couple of options. We've got the forager's hut and also the workshop. So the forager's hut, I think, is going to be the most useful of these two. Workshop is just making like simple things for the town, whereas foraging, actually going out and collecting plants and things, that's going to be more use to it. So I'm going to look to build that. And where should I put it? I think we want it on this side of the road, maybe just to get a bit of a town going here. But something is in the way, so I think it will go roughly there. I just need to move whatever's in the way of that. I guess it's that tree stump right there. Yeah, probably not that tree. That's too far away. It'd be this one right here. So let's remove that. And once we place that down, I believe this is how we can then get Yo Meme to work, because she can be a forager, right? But we have to build the building first. So what I'll do, I'll place that down, and as it's a new building we haven't done yet in the game, I'll do another quick time lapse of this being built, and then we'll try to set her to work. Well, here it is, guys. This is the forager's hut. Quite a nice looking building, even though it's just a simple one, and should be good for our production in the town and hopefully something for Yomim to work at. Now, interestingly enough, let's go into first person for this. We can see there is a sleeping mat here. So I don't know if this actually counts as like a house for somebody as well. And if so, if Yomim's going to work here, then she could also like live here as well. So yeah, this is how it looks on the inside, quite nicely decorated, as you guys can see. And if we go around the back here, then we've got this, which is, I guess, like a back entrance. I thought at first it might have been a little garden, but no, I think it's just a back entrance. Also, you might notice this right here. So I built this one up as well. This is a storage building. So if we go over to this right here, you'll see that this is Dynasty food storage. So we can put food in here. Now, I'm not sure, I haven't seen it anywhere, but in Medieval Dynasty, if you put food in food storage, it takes longer before it spoils. So I'm hoping that's the case here as well. And the other thing that it did is if we go back into this forager's hut right here, you see this here is a Dynasty food storage. So we didn't have access to this until we built that storage building. So in order to get access to this area right here, we had to build that. And I guess it's just like a progression point for the town that you build that food storage, and then any buildings that use that, it's all sort of connected up in the same way that all of the general storages are connected up. So if we were to build like another general storage area, it would have the same items in it as this one, I believe, but just extra capacity. Obviously, we'll figure that out as we go through. But for now, let's see if we can get Yomim to work here. So we go into our dynasty and we look at jobs. We see right here, there's no worker at the forager's hut. So let's see if we click this, what does it say? Okay, so it says here, select a recipe. So we can click on the plus button right there and we can choose things for them to go and get for us. So that's quite nice. Now, what do I want them to actually get? I reckon gobo would be a good one for them to get because then we can actually start feeding people with the cooked gobo, which we can then cook. Now, we want to assign a worker to this. So let's see, Yomim, you're assigned as the worker there. And what is this here? This is daily production versus their workload. So let's just put this up to 100. A daily production of 50. That does sound like quite a lot. Yeah, should we actually, let's look at some other things here. So if I was to add another recipe here and let's say, yeah, get me some stone as well. Could we like take some production off of this? Because we definitely don't need all that gobo per day, right? So that's like 60 food per day is already quite a lot. If we half the total amount to 25, then yes, we can put this up as well. So we could get 25 gobo and 10 stone each day. So let's just start with that. Let's see how that goes. And I'm assuming that Yomim will be working on that now. And if we go over to the general storage right here, let's see, we've got 7 cooked gobo, so that's not what she's done. I guess the gobo might be put in the food storage from her and the stone might be put into here. So I'll keep an eye on that over the next couple of days, give you guys a little update as we go through. Well, 8 gobo. Now, did I put that in there? I may have. All right, so we know we've got 8 of that and nothing over in there, and we'll see how that progresses and if she's actually collecting it. I'm just out doing a bit of exploring and I found a cabin here and we're able to loot certain bits of it like this right here. So I thought I'd do this on cam, see what we get. So let's see, cooked fish, not bad. I've got 9 of those. Mushrooms, we don't have any of those yet, so that's good. Berries, just a bit more food there. And some cooked rice as well. So lots of food from this one. Is there anything else? Wait, is there something to... harvesting a bush outside there, which we don't want to do. Okay, another chest here. And from that, we have got water. What? You can only take items from this container. Oh, right. Okay, so we can't take the water. No, we can. Okay, I don't know what that warning was. And also this stuff right here. Now, this I think might have been something we offer as like a sacrifice or something like that. But you can see it's also used for cooking and medicine. It's interesting with the water that it can actually just be picked up like this. It does say there, obviously you can drink it, and it's also used in cooking and medicine. So I think our citizens are going to need... Oh, hello. I think I've just stolen from you. I guess it's okay though. It just didn't seem to mind. I didn't realize anyone was living here. I thought this was like an abandoned cabin. I guess not. Anyway, well, actually we can trade with her as well. That's cool. Okay, so what do we get here? Oh, wow. Okay, so this is potentially where we're going to get all of our seeds from. There's also tea leaves there. I love that. Obviously, I'm English, right? Gotta love my tea. Lotus seeds. Yeah, okay, so there's like a early game farming and stuff that we can get from her. Now, if I go to the map right now, I wonder if she'll continually show up or not, right? I guess so, because there's this little brown bag here, which is the same as this one up in the top left up there. And that was the trader we found earlier. So yeah, okay, pretty cool. Now what I'm actually doing, I'm trying to find if there's any mine locations, like we're looking for caves where we can go mining, or if there's any ore that's just kind of dotted around the map. And I haven't had any luck so far, but I just figured I'd find something to do for today and we're waiting to see if Yomime ends up, doing the work for us and producing the stuff from the forager's hut that we're kind of expecting. I'm just wondering, actually, I wonder if she needs any tools for that. Like, so this is her job. I guess it would tell us if she did. I think because of this, it's just picking this up. I just wonder with the stone whether it would need a pickaxe. I guess we'll find out after today's over. We'll see whether we got any stuff from her or not. So I'm seeing lots of these things along the way, right? You see here, this is a medium stone deposit. It says there, mine with an iron pickaxe or better. Now, do all of these say that? No, because this one's mine with any pickaxe. Interesting. So some of the, and this is a large one that says we need steel, but some large stone deposits say that we can mine it with any pickaxe. So I'm not sure exactly how mining works in this game, but all part of the things I'm going to need to figure out, I guess. Now, incidentally, you can use the middle mouse button to do this, and it will show you all your tools. So it's a much quicker way of doing it than having to remember where they all are or going into your inventory or whatever. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get the pickaxe a second and just mine this little one right here. It's see how much stone we get out of just mining this one. So we've got 7 stone just from that small one. That's actually not too bad. So definitely a quick way of getting stone. But I'm going to keep looking around for those ores and see if we can start getting, like, I'm guessing there's going to be like copper and tin in the game and then eventually iron and stuff like that. And here's an example, guys, of a large stone deposit that we could actually mine with just our stone pickaxe. So the other one said that we need a steel pickaxe, whereas this one we can do it with just stone. And I think steel is probably stronger than iron, right? So there's like even going to be some that are in between there. And yeah, it just seems to depend on which the deposit you go to as to which tool you need to mine them. So kind of interesting. Looks like it's going to be different all over the map and something to figure out, I suppose. Okay, I can see there's a deer down there and I'm pretty tempted to have a go at this one. Wait, where's my spear gone? Okay, I threw it earlier and missed something. So there it is. Anyway, so if we do this here, let's go for like a headshot. I wonder if you can turn this off as well, because it's kind of like a bit too easy, right? Although, did that miss? That looked like it, just as I said, it was too easy as well. Okay. All right. Yeah, like in Medieval Dynasty, you have to actually just learn like how to throw the spears and stuff. And if I can turn that off, I might look to do that. Still out exploring, and I found this new location, so I thought I'd see what this is. Oh, special projects. Okay, let's see what it says here. You will find a variety of special projects in the world. They represent the transportation, production, or spiritual infrastructure of Nata Valley. Completing them takes a lot of effort, but provides Dynasty XP and other rewards like sources of rare resources. To start the construction process, build a special project construction workshop under basic structures near the signpost. Okay, so looks like if we wanted to do this, what we'd have to do is, this is going to be a watchtower as you can see, and we need to build a special project construction workshop nearby. This is under basic structures, I guess. So let's see here. If we go to basic structures, special project construction workshop, there we go. It just needs logs, planks, bamboo, and stone to complete. So we'd put that like somewhere just here or whatever. And then that would be how we would go about doing this. So that's interesting. If we go onto the map now, this is where I'm at if you guys want to try and find this yourselves. And that icon will stay up there. So it might be something we visit in the next episode, or like certainly in an upcoming episode. We'll definitely do one of these. But I don't think I want to get into it just yet today. I'm going to keep looking around and see if I can find any caves or anything like that. All right, guys, just want to give you a heads up on something here. I just got stuck when I was out exploring, and I decided to hit escape, see if there was like an unstuck. And instead I tried this button, the respawn. But there's penalties involved with that. And I think it said I lost like half of my food or something, which I don't really get because I don't know where they took that from. It looks like we're all good here. But yeah, just be careful with that one. Now, in terms of our day's work, or Yomime's day's work, I think she's done. Yeah, okay, so there we go. So the 10 stone is here, and it wasn't before. And I believe if we go over to our food storage now, yeah, there's now 36 of the gobo. There was 8 before, right? So it's working. She's actually, she's doing the work. And this is, of course, how we get our dynasty started. And then we need to keep doing more and more of this in the same way we did in Medieval Dynasty. More production buildings, more villagers coming in, and more production being automated. So I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you did, please do consider liking and subscribing if you'd like to see more videos like this. For now, though, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.